Hello there, and then welcome to this brand new video. Now, in this video, we are looking at how to form algebraic expressions with real life examples. You have to understand that algebraic expressions aren't just, let me say, confined to the textbook, but then you have to use them in real life scenarios to solve mathematical problems. So we'll learn how to translate these real world situations into what algebraic expressions. So we'll start with examples. They are no different from what we did previously. First of all, identify your unknown. Identify your unknown and then choose variables that will suit these unknowns. Then you now translate the situations into what mathematical operations, and then you write your expressions. So let's look at some examples and then how we can apply these steps to it. So looking at this expression here, or this statement here, it says there are 40 students in a class. Y of them are girls. You have to write down an expression for the number of boys in the class. You have to write down an expression for what? The number of boys in the class. How do we do that? So first of all, you have to take note. There are 40 students in the class. Now, total number of students in the class is 40. So total number of students is what? 40, as I have written over here. 40 students. And then the number of girls is Y. You know, definitely if not boys, then girls. All right. So to get the number of boys, the expression will just to take out the number of girls from the total number of what? Students. And that is going to be what? The total number of students, which is 40 minus Y. You see? So the expression for the total number of boys is going to be what? 40 minus Y. That is 40 minus the number of girls. That is very, very direct and simple. Let's take another example and see. Okay, so let's take note of this one here. It says, write down an expression for the number of months in Y years. Write down an expression for the number of months in Y years. We know that in 1 year, so for 1 year, we have how many months? We have 12 months, right? So 2 years would have how many? 24 months. You see, 2 years is going to have 24 months. How do we get it? We got it by multiplying 12 by the 2. Easy. In the same way, 3 years is going to have, let me write YERS so it doesn't confuse us with what we have here. So 3 years is going to have how many? 36 months. You see? So if the number of years is Y, the number of years is Y years, and we don't know, how do we know the number of months in it? So just as we did for this, we multiply 1 by what? 12. That is, it's already 12. But for the 2 years, we multiply 12 by 2. For the 3 years, we multiply 3 by 12. Then for Y years, we are just going to multiply Y also by 12. So this here will be the expression for what? The number of months in Y years. So we say that this implies that the number of months in Y years is equal to what? Y times 12. If we continue with multiplication, you would realize that this can also be written as 12y. Right? So that is it for this example here. Let's go into more. Okay. So this next example, you have to take or pay critical attention to it. It says, John is 3 years older than Paul. John is 3 years older than what? Paul. Now, if Paul is 3 years old, if Paul is X years old, what is John's age? What is John's age? You can pause and think about it, get a concept, answer, and then put it in the comment section. After which, we can then do it together. So John is 3 years older than Paul. Let me write John here. And then let's write Paul over here. Now, this is saying that whatever Paul's age is, John is 3 years older than him. So it simply means if Paul is 1 year now, then John is simply 4 years. That is 3 years older. If Paul is 5 years now, then John is simply what? 8 years. 3 years older. So the question is saying if Paul is X years old, so Paul is X years, this is Paul's age, then what is John's age? John will simply be what? X plus 3. You see, it doesn't matter the age of Paul. John is simply what? Plus 3, older than him. You see, it looks tricky, but then very, very simple. All right. So we would solve one last example, after which I would put down some exercise you can try your hands on. Okay. So this last question here says, Odai and Togbo were given 280 Ghanaian cedi to share. Odai had 75 cedis more than Togbo. If Odai's share is A, find Togbo's share. All right. So how do you go about this problem here? It is important you look at the entities involved. There are two, right? So the first one is the Odai, and then the next one is Togbo over here. Now we are being told that what the total amount they were given was 280. So let's write that here. The total is 280 cedis. Odai had 75 more than Togbo. Odai had 75 more than Togbo. Do we know what Togbo had? We don't know. You see, we don't know. But what we do know is that Odai has represents Odai's share. And we don't know Togbo's own. But we know Odai has 200. So the following are some examples you can try to test your understanding. So basically, this is how far this video is gonna go. In our next, we'll be looking at how to add and then subtract algebraic expressions. So stay tuned, and then thanks for watching. If this is your first time, you can always choose to subscribe. That is if you think this video or this playlist is going to be of help for you. See you in our next video, and take care.